Ladies and gentlemen, our republic is in real trouble right now, and with this new indictment for Donald Trump, things are really going to get to a point where we're going to go past the point where there's no return. They've really jumped the shark here and are trying to cross the Rubicon. I want to talk to you today about Donald Trump and why he is the 2024 candidate and why there's nobody else that we can support right now or should support. And supporting him means supporting the Republic and putting an end to this terrible tyrannical takeover by the deep state, aka the bureaucracy. So stick around, I'm going to tell you why we need to vote for Donald Trump. Now in 2024, we need to look at one issue and one issue only, and that is the state of our republic. We need to stop getting distracted with things like the culture wars and trying to figure out who would be best for foreign policy and this and that. There's only one issue that matters right now, and that is the fate of the republic. And if this is allowed to stand, what's happening to Donald Trump, you can pretty much say goodbye to the republic. It's about more than Trump. It's actually about the deep state taking full power through this action right here. What they're doing is trying to criminalize a president who exposes the secrets of the deep state, essentially. Now, why is the deep state coming so hard after Trump? The reason is obvious, because he is the one who poses a threat to their power, the power that they've had for many, many years. And this right here shows me everything I need to know. They would not be fighting so hard against Donald Trump if he was a washed up nobody. They say that he's irrelevant now. Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth. They are scared, and they know that if Donald Trump is reelected in 2024, they're gone. They're done. They're using a lot of psyop tactics, and one of them is just constant talking about Donald Trump, and obviously it's all negative. And what is happening here is people are just tired of hearing about him. It's overload. And that's part of the psyop. If you're tired of hearing about Donald Trump, well, guess what? So is everyone else. But you cannot let that get in the way of what's important, because know that it's a purposeful push to get you tired of Donald Trump and to get you to just give up on him. They also want you to be scared to support him. They want to make you feel like you're in a cult if you support him. That's another tactic, and don't fall for that either. The ones who are the first to fall at all this is the people who want to just return to normalcy. We just want to get back to normal. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but normal is not good. And what you think is normal is not actually what you think it is. So let's get that out of our minds right now. We're not going back to normal. We can't. There's no way. And of course, you got the people who just don't like Donald Trump as a person, period. And I can understand that. He's got a brash attitude. They don't like the things he says. He comes off rude a lot of times. But let me tell you this. Donald Trump was railroaded from before his presidency even began with what we now know were false accusations. And we know that the FBI covered for Hillary Clinton's crimes and went after Trump and made him look like a criminal, despite the fact that they never convicted him on anything because he didn't ever do anything. You just got to understand that this brash attitude that he has it was developed over the years of the abuse that he got from the media. If you ever heard the way the media talked to him, just so disrespectfully, it's ridiculous. So don't let his attitude and the things he says sometimes get in the way. That's just his personality, and I'm annoyed sometimes too, to be honest with you. Now, the charges that are being brought up against Trump are bogus, and these charges are for something that already has precedence. The charges are over a legal theory that already has precedence, and it's called the Clinton sock drawer theory. And that's because Clinton took files with him after his presidency that were still top secret and hid them in his sock drawer. And when Judicial Watch put in a FOIA request to try to get those documents, the judge ruled that oh, that's just personal stuff. Whatever they take with them after office is their personal belongings. So we've already had the courts side on the side of Trump's argument once. Now I'm going to let Kash Patel explain to you about these charges because he's a DC lawyer. He was a lawyer for Trump and for the Trump administration for many years. And he does a very good job of explaining exactly why these are bump charges.
We've spent the last, 2 years, however long it's been. This guy's been subpoenaed by the DOJ on this matter about classified documents, and President Trump has mishandled unlawfully classified documents. And when they have their time to step up to the plate and charge President Trump with the unlawful handling of classified documents, do they? No, they don't. That charge is on the books, Jan. It's part of an extension of the Espionage Act. Do you know what they use? They reach back to an act that has been on the books for 100+ years. It's called the National Defense Information Rule of Law under the Espionage Act, literally talking about charts and sailing utensils. It's so old. And in that part of the law, and here's a kicker that most people will not cover, the National Defense Information process that they charge Donald Trump with right now was written 55 years before the classified acts ever were written into Congress. That means there was no classified information for 50 years after the NDI. Then you have the classified, unlawful handling of classified information to come under the Espionage Act. So why did they go back 100+ years? Because they're now not saying that Donald Trump mishandled unlawfully classified information, and we've talked about that extensively, why we believe that's not the case before. They're saying he took stuff that maybe was classified, but maybe not, and we're going to charge him with 30-some counts. They took each document that they felt they wanted to charge him with, and they issued a single count. I think that's overly zealous, wildly so, and it's going to backfire. We can talk about that. But one of the big points I wanted to make was just that. If you're going to shoot your shot, shoot your shot. If you're going to kill the king, kill the king. If you've been saying for 2 years Donald Trump is stealing or unlawfully possessing classified information, then charge him with that. But we now know the rule of law because we on Epoch have so extensively put it out there. A president has universal declassification authority. He's a sole arbiter, period. And we'll get to the Presidential Records Act and how that applies to everything else. I just found it astounding, the irony in the indictment itself. Not only do they go to the NDI to charge him with individual documents, but then they flip to the very end when you look at the obstruction and conspiracy charges, and they itemize he was using classified documents to do that. Well, it's one or the other. Both legalities can't be true in the same charging document. Either he took national defense information unlawfully, or he took classified information unlawfully. They didn't charge the latter. They settled for the former. And we're going to get into the former and why I think it is a wildly overzealous prosecution when we talk about how Hillary Clinton was handled, how Sammy Berger was handled, how General Petraeus was handled, and we'll even talk about Bill Clinton's stock drawer case.
One thing that came out in the indictment that everyone seems to be ignoring is that the China attack that General Milley was so afraid of was actually planned by General Milley. They tried to give Trump plans to attack China, and Trump wouldn't accept them. So this actually is one of the things that they're after. The plans that General Milley drew up to attack China to try to make Trump look bad. He's another person that needs to go to prison for sure. These people are absolute scumbags. They're not the people that you think they are. So now's not the time to be split up over who we think would be the best candidate in 2024, because there's only one candidate in 2024. If the deep state was going after another candidate, then we would probably know, hey, we should look at that guy. But there's only one person the deep state's going after. And it's very obvious. If you saw Jack Smith during his news conference, did you see how much he was shaking? It reminds you of Alvin Bragg during his news conference when he looked so nervous and just like a deer in headlights. It's because they have nothing. And Jack Smith has a history of bogus investigations, which I'll get into in another video. But for now, let's band together. Let's keep each other up and don't let people fall for this psyop. That's exactly what it is. Another thing is the photos in the indictment of all the boxes of files in the bathroom and all that. Well, the classified documents that they're talking about are only like a handful of documents. So all those pictures of all those boxes is purely propaganda. And I don't want you to fall for it. So please subscribe to this channel, help us grow and help us get this word out. Please share this with as many people as you can, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what I missed, or if you disagree, let me know about that too. But we always know that God's in control and he'll always get the glory, no matter what. So until next time, peace be with you.